Hey there, everybody. Really excited to talk to you today about the Sanremo F18 Multi-boiler version. This is an independent boiler espresso machine, which means that each group head has its own dedicated brew boiler and then a dedicated steam boiler in the back. What this allows you to do is have a much more temperature stable, much more consistent and controllable extraction of your espresso, which ultimately will yield a better flavor. The machine comes with 2 steam taps, either 2 or 3 group heads. The hot water tap uses a cold water mixing valve, which means that you get a steady stream of water instead of boiling hot magma from the steam boiler. And it is volumetric controlled, which means that you can program your shot volumes for each group. There are up to 4 programmable settings per group, as well as a manual dispense for either purging it or doing a fully manual shot. You'll notice above the buttons, you will see the current group temperature. This group is at 91.2 degrees Celsius, and this one at 91.7. So each group having its own dedicated temperature, and each group having its own dedicated programmed volumetrics for each. Taking the touchscreen display one step at a time, on the far left you have your ambient water pressure gauge. Next you have your steam boiler temperature. Right now it's at 123 degrees Celsius. You have your water level, and then you have your steam boiler pressure, which is currently at 1.2 bars. Date and time at the top, and you'll notice the little cup at the top showing you that the hot water, the cup warmer is currently in the on position. In order to access the settings, you simply press and hold the bottom button, and we are now in our main settings. Starting at the top right, you have your light switch, which is for everything underneath the group. Right, this is an illuminated workspace, but if you wanted this to be in the off position, you could, or turn it on accordingly. Next you have your cup heater. Again, just an on and off toggle. Then you have your automatic backflush. This is a really nice feature because it will go through the pulses of on and off for you automatically with a single push of the button. And it takes care of that step for you. You don't have to wait in front of the machine, and it does it for both group heads at the same time. Over here you have your counters. This will tell you how many shots of each program you have gone through. And then you have your programmable automatic on-off timer. Although it is generally recommended to leave the machine in the on position the majority of the time, it will go into a snooze mode, so it's going to be more energy efficient, but it is generally recommended for this type of machine to leave it in the full on position. If you did need to turn it off, your on-off switch is in the top right corner here as well. On the next page, this is where some of the more interesting, from my perspective, features are. In the top right, this is your group temperature. So you can, as you can see, that group number 1 is currently set to 91.1 degrees Celsius, and group 2 is currently set to 91.6 degrees Celsius. You can adjust these up or down and confirm accordingly. Next, you have your pre-infusion for each group. What's pretty unique is that not only is pre-infusion able to be turned on and off for each group, each volumetric setting, so in this case, key 1, group 1, so that would be this one right here, right? Each individual volumetric profile can also have its own pre-infusion profile. So as you can see, we have different pre-infusion profiles for each of the 4 volumetrics on this group, and we could do the exact same on the right-hand group as well. Then, in your bottom left, finally, is your program doses. There are two ways to program the volumetrics on this machine. You can either do it through this screen of manually adjusting the volumetric amount, this one being key 1, group 1, for 109 milliliters. Or you can do it the traditional way, which is by pressing and holding this button until the lights start flashing. Press the button you want to program, it will extract for as long as you set it to, and then press it again to hold the programming. Either of those methods will work to set your volumetric doses. Keep in mind that this is the total volume of water that is passing through the group, not the total volume of water that is in your cup. So it is still valuable to use a scale and to make sure that you are measuring accordingly to that. And then finally, you have your alarms. Should the machine have any issues, it will raise those here and notify you, which will make it easier when you go to talk to a technician. And that is the Sanremo F18 multi-boiler machine in a nutshell. If you have other questions, never hesitate to reach out to us. We're happy to help talk more on it and assist you however we can. Thank you.